You know, I've been so focused on playing Armored Core that when Chase started telling me about a game called Lies of P, I had a moment where I was like, whoa, wait, what are we talking about? Lies of P? And then he talked about it a little bit more, and I was like, oh, yeah, the Pinocchio game, the Souls like game. I remember that trailer. And of course, it's at a time where I'm busy, so thankfully Chase went and bought it. So why don't we go check it out? Oh, it's almost like he's weakened now. He's slowed down. Get it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I don't care what you think about that video, Tyler. I'm not doing that again. Let's talk about it after this.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's awesome.
Ah,
Holy crap. All
okay,
right, so you
so
beat him.
this is Lives of Pete, guys. That's
Yeah,
the first
wow.
boss. Not a fan of him.
Let's go see what happens next. Go to the
Not
next room.
not a fan of him.
Yeah, that first boss was kind of hard. I don't like how some Souls games make you beat the first boss. I like how in Demon Souls and Dark Souls you can kind of go up to the first boss and you die and then you
Yeah.
continue from there. It's too much when you're restricted. It's nice when you have a big open area to explore and kind of try some different builds out and level up and explore, and then you go fight the boss. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like when they have it set up that way.
I mean, it definitely, you want to be able to, I mean, even Elden Ring had one of the first bosses you could just avoid if you didn't want to fight him. And so it's definitely, that seemed aggressively difficult, to be completely honest, for a boss. And just with the mechanics, I still think it's a little slow with this movement. Oh,
You've made short work of him, though. Like, really, I don't know what happened. Suddenly, you
sh-
just caught on fire. You killed it.
yeah, well, that was the 30 other times I attempted that boss, and not a fan of him.
Sure.
Not a fan of
Sure.
him. Cheers.
So now, what is she saying there? She's talking to you about lies. How do they? What's the deal with this game?
So, one of the, I don't know how it fits fully into the story, but if you are truthful, you become more human. If you lie, you become more of a puppet. I mean, I do believe
Okay.
if you saw on the bottom of that fight, there was text bars on the bottom that you couldn't
Yeah.
quite read, and he was like speaking to you. So I don't know for sure, but I think if you become more of a puppet, you can start to understand them, which is interesting.
Hmm.
And I can't confirm it, but I do think that that has some frame with the game as well.
So this game is a Souls-like game. It's based around the lore of Pinocchio. But how does your main character tie into that? Are you Pinocchio or
I think I am Pinocchio. Liza P. It's basically based off this guy. He's Pinocchio. Also, the loading screen is a little bit different. It says like loading lies or something like that. So it's all kind of somewhat Pinocchio-esque somewhere around there.
now?
Another thing I like about this game too is like, so Moonstone, you have to, when you pick up stuff, you have to actually like read it and find
Very,
it's very Souls-esque where it doesn't tell you the whole story. You have to actually look into it. So like I got quartz and I got Moonstone. So you have to actually, if you want to find out more, you have to read about it, and this is, so it says like this is not from this world. However, it's the most optimal enchantment material. So you can learn more by reading into all the different items and read, which I like. That's one thing I do like about this game.
one of the things I've heard is that this game is more kind of in your face with the story too, where the Souls games it's pretty much all in the text. Like, yeah, the bosses might say a couple lines of dialogue here and there, but
Hmm.
they said this game is kind of more in your face. It presents the story directly.
So I'm a puppet.
You get to make decisions.
Oh, I can't enter in, I guess.
Can you go back and say you're a human?
I'm a human. Oh, I told a lie. I told a lie.
Hmm.
Oh, and what's happening? I think I'm becoming. I think that's me becoming more of a puppet.
So how does the game change as you become more of a puppet?
I'm not sure. I just have. I've seen. I've heard like that you want to tell the truth if you want to become more human, or lie if you want to become more of a puppet.
So
It's
now,
interesting.
how is that a lie? That's just because you changed your answer,
Well,
or
because I'm a puppet. Because I've got the arm. So
you?
I am a puppet. So I'm like a
Hmm,
half puppet, half human, and so I'm technically a puppet. So telling them I'm human is lying.
right. Even though you're half puppet, or you
I,
have a puppet augmentation.
yes, correct. Yeah, something like that. So I think like I'm made by Geppetto, something like that. But
Opening credits here.
oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, so
That's
that's
pretty
all the
fancy.
preamble. What I just did, and that's how the first boss is difficult. And it's funny, we were discussing, you're like, I think it's like Mega Man. So like you beat the first boss and you get like a something and then you need to use that to beat the second boss. I was like, I haven't beaten any boss yet though, so I have nothing to help me with this boss. I just need to
Yeah,
get good and beat
I,
him.
I, I was just listening to a podcast and they had mentioned like, yeah, it's got like Mega Man like elements, and
Yep.
that's all I know about Mega Man. Where it's like, yeah,
Yep.
you use the boss's mechanics to beat other bosses, but so in the beginning, before that first boss, there's really not a lot of area for you to explore around and try to find new stuff.
There's not a whole lot. It's all fairly linear. Um and so this is kind of showing how the puppets went crazy in this cutscene here.
Uh,
So something happened and basically all the puppets went insane. And
how
like
did all these puppets come to be?
so a company made them and then something caused the puppets to go insane. And so I think we're gonna find out why the puppets went insane during this
Are
game.
those bodies or puppets?
I think bodies.
Oh,
So I think it's like paralleling like the AI, like if you get too reliant on the AI. And so that's what this game is kind of paralleling to. So it is very
yeah.
interesting. But
Okay.
and this is how I came to life is this butterfly touched me because they needed someone to like be a savior apparently. If someone brought me to life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does this game have stats like Souls games, or I know that the equipment is very restricted.
Yep. So you can level up, and I assume after this cutscenes we'll be able to level up. So Hotel Krat. There's also it seems like Souls like there's a beautiful lady to help you go through and level up and kind of lead you through like all the Souls games.
This is a blatant ripoff.
I know.
So
Just like oh let's cash cow. We know it works. She almost looks identical. She just got blue hair.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, I would say this was made by FromSoft,
I
you
don't know
know?
what
Yep.
answers.
It's got a few little like
Last season,
stylistic
we see
differences,
Boulevard.
but it looks pretty similar.
Please
Like
find
when you
Japan
roll, it's like
and
you're rolling
see
through
him.
molasses. Exactly
I'll
stylistic
explain more
differences.
once you find him.
Most
I
frustrating
need
part.
I need to look here. I
Yeah.
would love
Oh,
to go
look at
and
this. You
see
can
the
level up
bosses.
through Sophia using Ergo in your possession. Oh
Ah,
yeah.
would you look at that?
Yeah. So you basically can go through the different stats you have. So you have mobility, you have advance, which does basically your damage of all the different types. You have technique,
Okay.
which does your physical attack, and your Legion arm physical attack, and your defense. Your mobility, which does your physical attack, defense as well, and kind of your defense as well. Your capacity, this is what you can carry. Vigor, it's your stamina. That's your endurance, just different name. And then vitality is your health.
Okay. So it's very similar to Bloodborne, where Bloodborne had stats, but it was very cut back. This
Mhm.
game also seems like it's very cut back. You have a lot of the same trappings of Souls games, but the thing that grabs me is show us the gear. I mean,
Look
I
at Gemini.
can't believe that that's really all they
Isn't
give
she
you.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so. I'm no inventor.
Who is Jim? That's the guy that made you.
I
That's
think it's
supposed
the.
to be like Geppetto.
I think it's the. No, Geppetto. I think maybe it's the. It's like
Wait.
the.
Take this pocket. Is a labyrinth of peril right now. Be careful.
I got a cool watch. I think that's the voice that's been like talking to me and helping me through. So equipment. I have
It's
very.
like your Jiminy Cricket. Your
Yeah.
Jiminy.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Equip, unequip. I just can't believe. So you can't change your appearance at all, or?
Costume.
Oh. Okay. But that's not anything stat oriented. It's purely cosmetic.
Cosmetic.
Okay. Well, I kind of like. That's kind of how it was in Bloodborne. You didn't really. The armor was there, but it didn't do that much.
Yep. And the Stargazer, teleport to another Stargazer so you can teleport right away. Storage.
All right. Let's go see what the next area looks like. How do you? Let's
Yeah.
advance. Let's fight something here. So you have what classes are there?
So there was only 3 different starting: strength, dexterity, and balance. I went dexterity.
And what is that supposed to give you?
You want to see Master Geppetto, right? Come this way.
I guess
Oh,
I
it
can.
literally is
Now,
Geppetto.
listen, Geppetto,
Yeah.
but to see you in person. Wow, you should take this. Geppetto left it with me.
A fire axe? Thank you. So I guess this is the part. Oh, a harpoon.
Ooh, look
A
at that.
harpoon.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It's cool.
Very Sekiro.
What else can I put on this arm? Legion arm is special equipment, and it's equipped to the left arm. It has its own combat ability. Okay. That's kind of cool.
The sound of it must be something else. A custom. Oh, I forgot to introduce you. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. If any of your weapons.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So
Cool.
this is where you can come to kind of upgrade and swap out your equipment. That's cool.
All right, sweet.
Now you're heading back out.
Yep, going through the other side. So there's a lot of potential, I think, with this game. But it'll be so that's the loading screen. It's now lying instead of now loading. It's now lying.
Ah,
Which is interesting.
clever girl. Clever girl.
Yeah.
So this is the first time you've been through this area.
Yep. Puppet string. Ooh.
I'm curious to see what the bosses look like. If it's all puppets, or if you do have some kind of like crazy monsters. Like
But don't be alarmed.
Bloodborne was cool because it started with just werewolves, and then you kind of got like vampires, kind of, and then you started getting more eldritch stuff going on, and you had
Yeah.
some weird aliens and some weird creepy
these-
tentacly monsters.
Yeah. So these are your spawn points, and you do them. You basically repair them as you go, as you progress.
Okay, it's a stargazer to like kind of look up at the stars.
Yep.
That creepy little puppet. Okay. Oh, look at that.
That's kind of cool.
cool.
Oh no, that's awkward.
You don't have a weapon
equip.
on?
Yep.
Put it
Yep.
on?
I can't. I gotta wait.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, you're screwed now. There's the third one.
This is awkward. Excuse me. Pardon me. Equipment. Equip. All right. You're in trouble.
Yeah, watch out now. So, when you pick between the different classes, they hit different weapons?
Correct.
'Cause
Yeah.
I do not want to start with the rapier. That is like my least favorite weapon.
So yeah, you went off by stats, but then I immediately bought the stronger weapon, like the strength weapon instead. Ooh. And then did that one instead because I was struggling with the boss. So I thought maybe that was my problem.
I see.
So
You
you
made short work of those guys.
yeah. So these guys. So attributes.
Elysian Boulevard was a regular rich people row. You wanted fancy boutiques and shops. No place better.
So far, have all the puppets kind of looked the same, or do they have a variety of
They have a
puppet
little
appearances?
variety. So these are shortcuts. So if I press a button from this side, just kind of gets shorted out because I need to be on the other side.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice too, like Dark Souls-esque, exactly, where you have the ability to make shortcuts. All right, let's try this move. Come here! Woo!
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I
That's
like that.
sweet.
That's worth it just for the dogs.
You know,
Those are my least favorite of every single Souls game. I hate the dogs with a passion.
one of my biggest disappointments with this is it's kind of thematically mismatched for me. You know, the puppets are cool, but I'm not the biggest Disney guy, and I don't find them that creepy. Like when I think of creepy puppets, there's like this puppet thing from Goosebumps that kind of creeped me out as a kid, but I don't know. I just feel like this would get old after so many hours. We were looking at how long to beat, and it says that, you know, if you do just the main story, you could beat this game in like 26 hours, but I think the average play time is around 34. So I don't know. I want to see something crazy here. I want to see this game
Ramp up.
go off the rails here. Yeah. I'm just curious what the other bosses are going to look like.
It's got some verticality to it. That's kind of cool. Oh God!
Whoa.
But also too, it's like the oh.
There he is. Get him.
So that is cool that you can go vertical. What's this?
I don't know. Shortcut?
Oh, shortcut.
Look at
That's
that.
cool.
So what? It gets you down into. Oh, then you could probably go open that door.
Then we come over here. Oh, hello there. You
Yeah,
seem
guy.
difficult. Ooh. Ow.
He's swinging around a big axe. Do you know why the puppets revolted, or?
No clue.
Oh wow, he's tough. Special little enemy.
Ooh.
So now that you switched your weapon, does that change your parrying, or is the parrying the same?
I did not switch my weapon.
Well,
The-
now you have that attachment. Sorry.
Oh yeah. That actually reminds me. Oh, it doesn't work on this guy. That's BS!
He's like a special mob or something.
Yeah.
Easy now. Watch it!
Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
oh, that's not good.
Well, I'm coming back
At
for
least
you.
you didn't die.
Yeah, fall damage is apparently not a thing. Let me go up. I could go heal, but then he'll heal. I think I got him.
Do you think he'll heal at the exact same time you do it, or?
So if I go use that Stargazer, all mobs will spawn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So I noticed there, when you got hit, it didn't give you an opportunity to hit him back and get your health back. I thought that was available on the boss.
if you block.
Oh, I see.
Block, yep.
Okay, so if you block
But-
and you get hit, you can get that. Gotcha.
The nice thing is there now, so I have 3,000 souls just kind of waiting up there. So I do this move.
That's something you pointed out earlier too. I think that's a really clever thing, because in the Souls games you only just kind of knew off memory, like, yeah, I got that many souls sitting there. But suppose if you logged off and kind of forgot about it and came back, you would just forget. But it's cool that it gives you like a little visual reminder, like, hey, now you have this
Yeah.
many souls, but if you can make it there, you got 3,000 on the line.
Yep, and that red, you know, it's just kind of waiting. I also don't like how dirty you get that quick. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
And it's
What
like
is that? Like oil,
I think
or?
oil.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And then it also comes off you very fast
Yes,
too.
yeah, it's
Maybe
random.
it's just more like with Bloodborne, you would get covered in blood and you would just be so sopping wet the whole time, and it was awesome. Like this, it's like, I mean, you just run around a little bit, it comes right off. But I don't know. I guess it's still on you. Yeah, now there you go. Now it's faded away. What do you think about the theme? Is this, do you get like more comedic vibes, or is this more gritty and dark?
I think
It
it's more
looks
dark.
but you would think they'd add in some comedy. That would be interesting, you know? Because we have so many of these super dark, serious Souls games, but if they had like a dark one that was also like kind of funny. I guess this is, I mean, you're fighting on a circus
And
sign.
that fall damage, but
Ooh.
yeah. I don't know. It's definitely right now. There's not a whole lot of comedy. I think it's just the comedic is the, you know, the puppets and the clowns. You know, in such a dark area, is my thought
Yeah.
process. But
Wow, well that's cool. I thought you were stuck on the first boss. Come to find out, you beat him, and now we're progressing on with the story.
yeah,
So I don't know. This is Lies of P. I'm really considering buying this game because I'm playing Armored Core, and it's a great game. I love it, but thematically, it's mismatched for me. I'm not a future mech kind of guy. I like my sword and board games. I like my fantasy, especially medieval fantasy. So Armored Core is kind of like not really what I'm looking for, but I wanted to play it because it's a FromSoft game. So this is more in line with what I like, but I'm not totally all about the puppets. So I may go look up some of the other bosses and see, because I would want it to get crazier at the end. Like we need aliens or monsters, or what would be a good fit for this? I guess at some point you'd fight a giant whale, right?
yeah.
You have
something.
to fight a whale.
I feel like pull out something that are not puppets. You know, what's making these puppets go crazy? You know, it'd be interesting to see how they escalate it, and for it to make sense.
Do you think you're gonna fight Geppetto at the end?
Possibly.
Fighting your creator, the guy that made you, that created this whole problem, or like going into Geppetto's workshop or something? You know, it just makes you wonder. There's gotta be some crazy fish-like enemies in this game. There's really nothing else. I guess there's donkeys in the like Disney Pinocchio, but I don't know if that's really a thing in Pinocchio lore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is
comes at you.
I'm really shocked that I totally forgot about this game, and
Wow. Like, and it's just crazy. Some of these enemies, it's just they're so fast and they have such a wide reach, and your dodge just doesn't seem to go anywhere. That's what I don't like about this game, personally, is it seems unbalanced in some ways and crazy. The ramp up. I feel like the other enemies are not very difficult, and this guy is not easy.
yeah, but they have that in the Dark Souls games too, where it's like you'll fight it, and some enemies will be super easy, and then you come up to a Red Eye Knight, and you're like, oh my god, he was so hard. Or, you know, you go into the Blight areas, and you have those big, like I don't know what they are, the goblin-looking dudes with the big noses and the big giant wooden poles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of it might just be you need to parry more, because that was a big part of Bloodborne too. Like I made it through all of the Bloodborne game without really parrying, and then once I started parrying, it really made it a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But
it
even
could
too,
be.
even trying to parry, it's just interesting because the parry, it's not like you can attack right away. That's what I don't like about the game. It just extends it fills up a bar that eventually staggers, but it doesn't even stagger them. You need to then attack them with a strong attack.
Right,
So,
and there's no backstabs either. I noticed you stabbed that guy
you
in
can,
the back, and it didn't.
you can, not with certain enemies, and so, so that's.
Try to get a backstab on this next guy. Ah, I see. That different indicator, the red light kind of pops up. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep.
That's like a critical attack. We saw that same animation on the boss when he was down, but there was a ring on the floor you had to go in.
Yep. Which is interesting, which I like that.
Yeah, that's cool too, because sometimes you'll like stagger a boss. You're like, I don't know where am I supposed to go? Stab him in the chest, stab him in the head, you know. So that's cool. But all right, everybody, that's been Liza P. Let me know if you guys are interested in this game. Are you gonna buy it? What other questions do you have? Is there something we can clarify? And more importantly, would you be interested in seeing Chase do a live stream of this game?
Yep.
There's some 4D chess right there.
4D
Until
chess.
next time, I'll see you later. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/GrouchyGus94 to help support the channel.